Make sure you're warmed up. You'll need to hit it big right out of the gate. Hole number 1 at Wooden Sticks is a tough par 4 that stretches to almost 450 yards. From an elevated tee over a shallow ravine to a wide fairway. Aim left to avoid the church pew bunkers down the right side. Inspired by those at Oakmount in Pennsylvania, and best when admired from afar, like the middle of the fairway. The second shot is slightly downhill and usually downwind to a large, relatively flat green that runs front to back, especially off that knob on the right front corner. Aim for the middle of the green, make par, and you're off to a great start. Number 2 is a Wooden Sticks original, the signature hole, a 329-yard par 4 from an elevated tee, yielding a dramatic view of a fairway framed by 10 bunkers, none of which enhances your chances of making birdie. Hit it in the wrong one, and you could spend all day at the beach. So unless you can drive the green, hit it in the middle of the fairway, where you can spin your second shot into this shallow elevated green that slopes front to back. Favor the right side, where it's deeper, and the slope will help if the hole is cut on the left side. Number 2 is a definite birdie hole, but make a mistake, and you could also make a big number. Number 3 may look familiar, the first of the inspired holes at Wooden Sticks. In this case, by the 12th at Augusta National, part of Amen Corner. It's a par 3 that can play as long as 185 yards, but to get a feel for how it plays at the Masters, use the tee blocks closest to 150 yards. It's a difficult shot over water to a small green protected by bunkers front and back. You can miss it left or right and get up and down, but long or short is trouble. Make sure you have the right club for the wind and yardage. Hit it on the middle and you'll have a makeable birdie putt no matter where they put the flag. Number 4, a par 5 at 512 yards inspired by 13 at Augusta, the end of Amen Corner. Gives you your first best shot at joining the Eagle Club at Wooden Sticks. There's lots of room down the right side for a drive and a layup, avoiding the creek that runs down the left side the entire length of the hole. Bend it left around the corner, and you can expect a shot in the 200-yard range to carry the creek and land it on this large 3-tiered green, framed by bunkers that don't usually come into play but definitely give it an Augusta feel. Hit it on the correct tier, and you'll have a relatively flat putt. Par's a good score, but you may feel like you're giving one up to the field. Number 5 is another Wooden Sticks original, a 331-yard par 4 that will test your accuracy off the tee, with the fairway lined by pine forest left and right. If you can hit a long draw, you can actually go for the green, even though it's uphill. But a safer shot is in the fairway, inside the 150-yard marker, which gives you a chance to spin it into a wide but fairly shallow green that slopes from left to right, ringed by bunkers on all but the left side. Don't be fooled by the false front, but don't overclub. You'll need a high shot that lands softly to hold the green. And read the putt from both sides. The breaks on 5 can be deceiving. Number 6 is a 456-yard par 4 and not so subtle hint that the easy holes are over. It's a very wide fairway, but only if you hit it to the right. Anything bending left will either find trouble or give you an obstructed shot to the green, so aim right and hammer it, and you'll wind up in the middle of the fairway, looking across a ravine to an elevated green that plays downhill and therefore shorter than it looks. The green slopes back to front, but you'll need to bring it in high to hold the green. Anything left is dead in the water. Right and you're in the trees. Long and you are out of bounds. So, safety first. Aim for the middle. Par is more than acceptable. Number 7, also an original, is a par 4 that stretches to almost 400 yards, but unless you're playing from the back and into the wind, think twice about taking the driver. Location should be your #1 priority as you try to find the narrow fairway between the bunkers and trees somewhere inside the 150-yard marker. That'll be the perfect launching pad for a forced carry over a deep tree-filled ravine to the most treacherous green on the course. But unless the pin is cut in the middle section, you can throw it in there 5-10 yards past the flag and it'll roll back down the slope, maybe even go in. But even short putts can be difficult on 7, so try to keep it below the hole, and remember, par here equals happiness. Number 8 is the longest par 3 in the course, 231 yards from the tips, and features the largest green of any of the par 3s. It plays from an elevated tee, in other words, shorter than the yardage may suggest, so take 1 club less. The bunkers on the left are deep and bad news. The green is relatively flat, but because you're coming in with a mid to long iron, it can be tough to hold. And there is a narrow opening in front that can be used to bump and run it on. But there's no question, hitting the green at 8 will make it a lot easier to make par. Number 9 is the second and last par 5 in the front, 544 yards from an elevated set of tee decks, overlooking a large waste bunker inspired by Pine Valley in New Jersey. The safest carry is to the left, but you can miss it slightly left or right and still wind up with a decent approach to the green. At the end of a fairway that narrows in the middle and widens near the green with more waste bunkers on the right side. Depending on the wind and the tee position you select, it's a reachable par 5. The green undulating at the edges is deep enough to hold woods and long irons, giving you a relatively flat putt for par birdie or better. Congratulations on a great front 9. The back 9 starts with a hole inspired by the first hole in golf, number 1 at the old St. Andrews, Scotland. It's a par 4, 390 yards, and features an ultra-wide fairway shared with 18. You can go as far left as you like, but it's tougher to get yardages to the green from there. And you need to know, because the green is fronted by a 4-foot deep creek, so if you're going to miss it long. The putting surface is massive, with an assortment of humps and bumps, but mostly flat in the middle. So 10-20 footers are makeable, and birdies are not uncommon. Number 11, also inspired by a Scottish classic, the famed postage stamp at Troon, shortest hole in Open Championship golf. It usually plays less than 140 yards at wooden sticks. With the wind blowing from right to left and the size of the green tells you why they call it postage stamp. Anything on or around the dead flat green will be close to the hole. But that green surrounded by deep pot bunkers that are tough to get out of. Avoid those and you can avoid a big number on number 11. The 12th at Wooden Sticks is another original with influences of Pine Valley. A 459-yard par 4 with the drive coming out of a chute and over a large waste bunker. There's more room to the left than you think, so make it easy on yourself and avoid the bunkers, trees, and out of bounds on the right. The second shot is uphill to an elevated green with a false front, sloped back to front and protected by deep bunkers in front, and framed by hardwood trees on the back and sides. If you've been saving a solid iron shot, this would be the place to use it. Make par here and you've earned a pat on the back. Number 13, another long par 4, 484 yards from the tips, continuing the Pine Valley theme with a long carry over the waste bunkers to a fairway guarded by bunkers and out of bounds to the right. Again, there is room on the left, and you'll need a great drive to get home in 2. Even if the flag is cut on the far left of the green, you'll want to play it to the right, the side unprotected by the waste bunker, and take your chances with a chip and a putt or a long 2-putt. The green is wider than it is deep, with a bit of a bowl effect toward the middle. Most days, a par 4 will feel like a birdie. The 14th at Wooden Sticks was inspired by Hogan's Alley at Carnoustie. a 509-yard par 5, usually downwind. When Hogan won the Open in '53, he flirted with out of bounds by playing down the left side and making birdie all 4 days. At Wooden Sticks, there's no out of bounds, so aim left to avoid the large, deep, and punitive fairway bunkers in the middle. Keep your second shot left as well. You can bounce it up there with a wood or long iron. And avoid the 3-pot bunkers that guard the right side. 14 is a definite birdie or better possibility. The 15th was inspired by the road hole at St. Andrews, a 474-yard par 4. Running parallel to 14, it starts the journey back to the clubhouse. The fairway is fairly wide, but lined by fescue on both sides and rock walls off the tee and beside the greenside road. It'll take a big tee shot to get you near the 150-yard marker, and from there, check your yardage carefully. Front to back on this massive green can be a 2 to 3 club difference. There's a nasty sod-walled pot bunker to the left. Depending on where they cut the hole, you may not be able to see the flag from in there. And the road to the right is in play, no relief from there either. But once on the green, almost every putt will be dead straight. Again, a 4 will feel like a bird. The 16th is the final par 5 and the longest at 570 yards. And keeping with the feeling of Pine Valley, the fairway is split with a waste bunker roughly halfway to the green. So a drive down the middle will give you the choice of going for the green from about 250 yards through a chute with trees left and right, or making it a 3-shot hole with a layup short of the large green, sloping from back to front, and guarded on the left by bunkers with more waste area on the right. It's not a bad idea to leave yourself with an approach of about 130 yards. It'll be the perfect rehearsal for what lies ahead. The 17th at Wooden Sticks, inspired by the famous Island Green at TPC Sawgrass in North Florida, site of the annual Players' Championship. A par 3, 143 yards at most, where wind and pin location are everything. 17 has ruined many a good round late, so to play it safe, calculate your yardage to the middle of the green and hit it there. The dramatic slopes in front and back left will make it a tough 2-putt if you're on the opposite side of the pin location. But anything dry and visible is good at 17. The 18th was inspired by the home hole at St. Andrews, a 404-yard par 4 and a great chance to finish your round with a par or better. The stone bridge is the gateway to an expansive fairway shared with 10, but aim left, you'll feel more than just a little sheepish if you drive it out of bounds right. The green sloping steeply from back right to front left is the size of a small subdivision, so double check your yardage. Miss it short, and the deep depression in front of the green will make you feel deeply depressed. So knock it stiff, make your birdie, and the post-round beverage will taste that much better.